YouTube. Google purchased back in 2006. Yes, it was 3 months before the iPhone was announced by Steve Jobs. Google paid $1.65 billion and it changed our future of internet. Imagine during the COVID lockdown without YouTube. Sure, there was a company called Netflix before it dropped like a. Anyways, YouTube advertising revenue alone is about $20 billion, which is 11% of its parent company Alphabet. Plus, it's the second largest search engine behind Google. It was a great buy. Let's look at Instagram, bought in 2012 for $1 billion. The shocking number at the time. People questioned Mark's leadership and having over 57% of voting rights is a risk. But it turned out to be a very successful acquisition. So much so that Instagram's revenue grew from $500 million in 2015 to a whopping $26 billion in 2021, which is over 50% of the net ad revenue of Facebook. I meant Meta. Was it a good buy? It was too great, so Facebook lost its footing. That it needed a change of its name. They had to change the whole branding that they made for almost 2 decades. Oh, did you notice the thumbnail Meta logo was upside down? I bet you didn't. That's how good the purchase was. So what about Twitter? Elon can spend all his money on whatever he wants. But let's just talk about it. Talking about someone else spending $44 billion is free. What is so great about Twitter that Elon wants to spend 44 times, or is it just inflation? Because we don't really have a metric that measures inflation of intellectual properties. Or is it just Elon protecting his playground? Our former president could save himself from the ban if he was a little richer. Free speech is great and all that, but what I felt then was a bit different. I realized that freedom is not free. Democracy and capitalism are two very different things. It worked well in a harmony during the past half-century does not mean it will stay the same in the future. Democracy, one living person, one vote. Capitalism, one share, one vote, with some details with different class structures. What struck me the most are the reactions of the elites and media. Reactions were as though something is taken away from them. What kind of thing that are they feeling of losing? What is so problematic about talking freely on Twitter? Okay, enough of ideologies. If you want to go deeper, you tell me where I can do that really. Let's look at what possibly Elon can get from Twitter and his new friend Prince Al-Walid bin Talal Al Saud. Saudi Aramco is the world's largest oil producer and they have some plan for 2030 energy reformation. For the future-proofing portfolio, Tesla could be a great option. Rather than paying for a high premium of buying Tesla shares, holding a portion of Twitter could be a better option if Tesla needs something from Twitter. Yes, I do not believe just for freedom of speech made him offer 44 times the YouTube or Instagram. After all, he is the businessman who survived the largest and longest shorts in history of Wall Street.